Hello, everyone. My name's Tyler,
And I'm Molly.
and you are listening to.
Real time.
Here we talk about the movies we like and the ones we don't. Now, today we have our first guest on the show. We have my sister Kate. Say hi to everyone.
Hey everyone.
Remember, this is a family show, so just be cool, okay?
No promises.
Please.
Okay.
And today we're talking about Kate's favorite movie, actually, Lilo and Stitch. Now, okay. Now, Lilo and Stitch was a movie that Kate and I watched a lot when we were kids. You know, we when it came out, we were living on Okinawa at the time, way over there near Japan. So, there's a lot of nostalgia and for us in this movie.
I was also a baby when it came out, so I only started watching it when we moved back stateside a couple years later.
That is true. So, Lilo and Stitch stars David Chase as Lilo, the movie's director, Chris Sanders, as Stitch, Tia Carrere as Lilo's older sister, Nani, David Ogden Stiers as Jumba. He was a mainstay in a lot of Disney movies. He was most notably in Beauty and the Beast as the Clock Cogsworth. So, that's pretty interesting.
Interesting fact.
Kevin McDonald as Pleakley, Ving Rhames from Pulp Fiction as Cobra Bubbles. What?
He was Seinfeld.
He was on Seinfeld?
I know Jerry Springer. One of the two.
Anyways, she was talking about Kevin McDonald. We're on Ving Rhames. And Kevin Michael Richardson, also known as every black man ever in animation, as Captain Gantu. You think I'm kidding, but if there's a black guy in animation, Kevin Michael Richardson is most likely playing him. Even if it's a white guy, he's probably still playing him. So, Lilo and Stitch is it's a pretty interesting movie. It's like two movies combined together to make a really good one. Because you have this alien experiment that escaped from this grand council, and then you have this other thing on Earth where these sisters are trying to make sure they can still live together because their parents died, and Nani she wants to make sure she can take care of Lilo, and it shouldn't work, but it does somehow.
Yeah. It's a family dynamic that they have where Nani's got to protect Lilo in one way, and Stitch kind of comes in and keeps them together in a sense. So in Hawaiian, Lilo means lost. Stitch and put back together. So Stitch kind of brings them together as a family once again.
This summer.
Oh, thanks, homie.
Two worlds will collide.
Now, so Molly,
Yes.
what do you think of this movie?
I've always really liked this movie. Don't know when I first saw it. It's probably very little. I don't know if this was one of the movies that my grandma had. I know she has lots of Disney VHS tapes, and I'm thinking this was one of those.
Yeah, probably.
So I probably saw it a lot then. But yeah, I love it. It's cute, and it's just like one of those movies that you can watch whenever and enjoy it.
Now, the cool thing about this is the director both directors of this movie actually went on to do How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and like I said before, Chris Sanders was Stitch here. In those, he was toothless.
Oh, that's
He
funny.
likes voicing monsters, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this movie also had a couple sequels and a TV show.
I remember the TV show, sort of.
Yeah.
I think I've seen all the movies and the TV show when I was younger.
Well, the first sequel, I think it was just
Stitch has a glitch or something.
No, Stitch the movie. That was sort of like a pilot for the TV show because it's discovered that Jumba has all these other experiments that he made and lost, but he has them, and then one of them gets loose, and then they all get loose. So Lilo and Stitch have to
Go on a hunt.
go on and get all of them and make them be good boys.
Yeah, kind of what she did for Stitch.
And that was basically the whole show. Now, the other movies was Lilo and Stitch 2. It takes place before the TV show, but after the first movie, obviously. And in that one, Stitch is, he's glitching out. He has a glitch because Jumba didn't really
finish the process of making him when he first did. So over the time, systems are malfunctioning, and they find out that this is happening. They have to, kind of update him in a sense, but finish his creation. And towards the end of the movie, little spoiler, he doesn't die, but he kind of shuts down in a sense where Lilo thinks she just lost him.
It's a 16-year-old movie. No one cares about spoilers at this point. And then in the last Lilo and Stitch movie, what was it, Leroy and Stitch?
Yeah, Leroy and Stitch. So Stitch's kind of evil twin kind of surfaces and causes havoc, and then they have to do pretty much the same thing they've been doing the entire movie, all movies, just making sure that he doesn't destroy everything, and they gotta turn him good.
Yeah, but then like 1 million of them get made. And
and then it just doesn't end well.
It ends well.
It does, but it doesn't.
That was
the movie itself ends well.
Now, there's another bit of Lilo and Stitch that I bet neither of you knew about.
Yeah.
There was a Lilo and Stitch anime.
Oh.
Actually, I did know about that.
Okay, you knew about it.
I did know about that. I never watched it, but I did know about it.
Yeah. I haven't watched it either, but I'm kind of curious, honestly.
Which, the only things I can remember from the other Lilo and Stitch movies was that character really likes sandwiches.
Yes.
I remember that, but that's about all. Everything else is...
That's from the TV show, I'm going to say.
Yeah, that was from the TV show.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he was very intelligent. But the only thing he really liked and wanted to do was make sandwiches and eat them.
Yeah, because he was like as strong as Stitch, but he just...
Yeah, he just didn't care.
He was just chill.
In Leroy and Stitch, Lilo gave him the name Reuben because,
Reuben sandwiches.
Yeah.
Thank you, that was the name. I couldn't remember the name of that. But no, he's a little short, yet tan mother of a guy, and all he wanted to do was make sandwiches, so he kept making sandwiches the entire time. That was his one mission. He didn't want to destroy anything. He just wanted a sandwich.
Man's just vibing and making sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's like he's high all the time. He just wanted a sandwich.
So, what are your guys' favorite characters from this movie?
I bet you can guess mine. I kind of have a tattoo for it.
Yeah, you have a Stitch tattoo.
Yeah.
You have a Stitch tattoo like I have a Toothless tattoo.
Exactly. Hey, same character though, or same voice actor.
Yeah, that's true. What about you?
That's hard. Because I do really like Stitch. He's just so cute. But yeah, I'm gonna say Stitch. Stitch is probably my favorite overall. It's hard to beat Stitch.
Honestly, that's what my mom calls me sometimes because I do like.
Are you sure she's saying Stitch?
Yes, I'm sure she's saying Stitch. She does call me the other version, but hey, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, she does.
No, because it's of how I am. It's really dependent on. Also, if I'm hungry too, that's totally right. But no, honestly, if we're talking about the whole movie, it's either Stitch or Pleakley. Because Pleakley is like an anxiety-ridden character that's just...
He's just trying his best.
He's trying not to get in trouble or like die or do the wrong thing, and it's the funniest thing ever. And it kind of... a little...
Well, my favorite character I have to say is actually Lilo.
Yeah?
I feel like she's probably one of the best kid characters in any movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
She is.
She's weird. She's she just does her own thing and doesn't care.
Yeah.
And I really like that from a kid. She's a really realistic kid character.
Yeah.
She is.
Her and John Connor from Terminator 2. They're just some of the best kid characters I've ever seen in movies.
Yeah, there's not that many good kid characters that are like you can relate to. It's more just they're there and kind of annoying too. If you look at it, like a lot of child characters are annoying. Because they're children. Children are annoying at points.
And Lilo's kind of annoying at times.
Yeah,
but,
she is.
But
it's an understandable.
It never outweighs the good.
Yeah.
Because like you said, kids are annoying. They do that.
Yeah, and I mean also you got to take into account she's being raised by her 19-year-old sister, and an alien, and the guy who's in love with her sister. And her parents died when she was a child. She's still like 6 or 7. Like by the end of the movie, if you count all the candles on the cake, it's like 6 or 7. So she is really a child. She's like kindergarten, first grade.
You know I can't count that high.
I know you can't. You can only count on one hand. So count that twice and just stop.
Ah, okay. All right.
But she's a child, so she's still trying to learn social cues. She's an outcast, you know. She said in the middle of a movie that, you know, everyone treats her differently, and it's true because you don't, when you're a child, you don't know how to act around somebody who just lost their parents because you're used to having a parent or two. And then all of a sudden this girl has no parents and you don't know how to act. Like, oh yeah, I gotta go ask my mom. Oh, I have to go ask my sister. And then when they ask why because they don't know, you're like, oh, well, my parents died kind of in a car crash when it was raining and they never came back. It's kind of like when a dad goes to go grab the milk and never comes back. But, you know, she doesn't know how to act around certain people, her age especially, because she's not used to it. And, you know, she doesn't have any friends. She only has her sister. Now she has Stitch, and the other two join them briefly. And she also has David, but David's also an adult who's in with her sister.
And also Cobra Bubbles.
Yeah, Cobra Bubbles.
He's helping too.
He's more of a guardian at that point. He is that parental figure that they need, but he's more just like on a lookout, just to make sure that they're safe.
But you know, at the end, he does come around to help out more.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, especially in the later movies, we see him a lot more often, and not as this hard guy who's trying to take them apart from each other to help Lilo. He's more of like, all right, let's get this done, let's figure this out.
And even when he is trying to take Lilo away from Nani, he's not doing it out of any malicious intent.
No, it's more just like it's what's best for her. Like, we need to think about that instead. Like, I get it, you don't want to leave, but it's what's best for her. And that's like the biggest thing a lot of times these days is it's what's best for the kid or whoever you're watching. Because if it's not best for them, you're just doing it because you're scared or you don't want to lose that, then it's more on that selfish terms. So you got to look at what's best for whoever you're watching at that point. It's like animals too. You got to do what's best for the animal. If that's your fur child, that's your fur child. You're gonna do what's best for them.
Yep. So, do we have any favorite scenes in this movie?
Pudge the fish.
Yeah.
Pudge the fish.
Lilo explained to her hula teacher that she can't feed Pudge tuna because that's fish.
And that if she's an abomination, she's got to feed Pudge a peanut butter sandwich, but they ran out of peanut butter, so she had to go to the store, get peanut butter, because all they had was stinking tuna. And the thing is, the only reason she had to explain this was because she was late to hula class, and all the girls slipped, and then, Nani, her older sister, was like, well, just give Pudge tuna sandwich. No, you can't do that. And then the hula teacher asked why, and he's like, because he's a fish, and he's kind of trying to figure out why this is so important, and then she's like, well, Pudge controls the weather. And he does. Pudge officially controls the weather.
And fish eat fish all the time, but she's a kid. This
she's a child.
This makes sense from her point of view.
And it makes sense from my point of view too. Granted, I have at least 15 years on her. But she's not gonna feed a fish. She's gonna feed fish something that isn't fish.
She's not some sadistic little girl who would feed chicken nuggets to a bunch of chickens.
Okay.
It makes sense in context. Anyways, Molly, what's your favorite scene?
I really don't know. I do like the scene where they go to the dog pound, I guess that's what it is, to adopt Stitch. I think that's funny with all the dogs hiding from Stitch, and then he figures out, oh, if I hang out with this little girl, those aliens aren't going to, take him. Mm-hmm. So I really like that. I just thought the whole meeting Stitch and everything was a fun scene.
I like when he was escaping the prison that he was kept in.
Yeah.
Because it really shows how smart this guy is. Because at first we're shown that he's just this little monster trying to just do whatever he wants, but then we realize no, he's figuring this out. The wheels are turning in his head to get out of this place.
Yeah, because before they technically took off in that alien spaceship, Gantu said it's configured to your DNA. And he was messing around with it, bringing his saliva out and bringing it back in, and the blasters were actually following that saliva because it's his DNA. So he realized, he's like, all right, I can spit this on somebody and it'll count for that. It'll get it off my back, so we're good.
Give me a split second to get out of these restraints.
And which what he did. He spat on the guard,
He-
got out of the restraints.
The guard died pretty messily for a Disney movie.
Yeah, yeah, they don't show him after that, but
There was nothing to show.
exactly. So it's kind of.
Did you see how big those guns were?
I did.
They were pretty big.
They were bigger than your ego.
Hey,
It's pretty big.
it is. That's what the girl called you to do.
What?
Ego goes in the mess.
There's something else I don't think either of you knew about, or maybe you knew about this.
I don't know.
Let's hear it.
What is it?
So you remember the part at the end when they're chasing Gantu in their spaceship?
Mm-hmm.
That used to be them stealing like a Boeing 747 airplane and them flying through the city.
9/11.
Yeah, 9/11 changed that because they were crashing into buildings, flying dangerously close to buildings. And this came out in 2002.
So right after 9/11.
Right after. So they had to, like, last minute
No, I don't
switch
think
all
I
of that.
Ever, no, I don't think
I didn't know that.
Actually, there's a faint memory of that happening, but I thought it was, that Mandela effect where you think it's one thing, but it's not. It's kind of like the dryer situation in the pizza box now.
Yeah.
How when it first came out, it was a dryer. Lilo hid in the dryer, hiding from Nani when, they were chasing each other around. But now, everybody remembers that, but now it's a end
Pizza
table. No, it's just a pizza box. It's an end table with the old pizza box, covering it up as a door. That used to be a dryer. It's the same thing with older Disney movies, how they had Tinkerbell do the castle. Now it's not there anymore. But it was never there anymore.
We're just
at this
all
point.
crossing universes.
I think that's what it is
But
at this point.
there-
Or we all died in 2012 when the world was supposed to end, and now we're just kind of living in a different universe.
Maybe. But there is actually footage of that old airplane.
I don't have to find it.
It's on YouTube. You can
Yeah,
find it
that's
pretty
it.
easily.
I have to find that.
But, like, it's just weird and pretty cool that they were able to change that real quick to meet the release date.
Yeah, because that was, I was only like 2 months old when 9/11 happened. But still, that's something that changed a lot of things. And if you look at it, it's more the fact that they already had this movie made, and then now, it's something not completely different, but it's different in the sense where they have had to change certain things because, people in the day and age are just like, all right, that's a little sensitive. All right, you don't be such a snowflake, you'll be fine.
I mean, 9/11 changed a lot of movies at
It
the
really
time.
did.
Like, I don't remember if we mentioned this in our Spider-Man review, but the first trailer for the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man had a whole bunch of bank robbers, doing stuff. They get away in a helicopter, and then they get caught in a web between the World Trade Center.
Oh, God.
That would have been really cool to actually see in the movie.
Yeah, that would have been.
I think that might have been Spider-Man's original, appearance in the movie, because there's no grand entrance of him in the movie.
No.
But
Yeah.
there is a scene where we see the World Trade Center reflected in one of his lenses. So part of it is still in the movie.
Yeah, and I don't think
Yeah.
they could take out all of it without having to redo a lot of the movie. So they probably had to keep a little bit in there just,
Just for it to make sense.
not even that, but just make it easier on their lives so they don't have to redo a whole lot of scenes.
Just have to cut out all the shots of New York that show the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Yep.
And add in a certain scene of a whole bunch of New Yorkers throwing crap at Green Goblin for attacking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Very togetherness stuff after
family
9/11. Man, this got off track.
Yeah.
It really did. Oh my goodness.
That is not out of the ordinary for
No.
the show, though.
Or for us two to be together.
Nah.
You
Oh,
can't stay on track with us two.
nah. Well, I don't think we have anything else to say about this
No.
movie.
It's a
So-
pretty simple
Nice
children
movie.
movie. It's a cute movie. It's relaxing. It's easy to watch.
Kind of reminds me of a Studio Ghibli movie in a way.
Huh?
Just
The
the general
art
vibe
is-
of
yeah.
Yeah.
this little girl and her alien. I'm surprised Ghibli hasn't done something like this. If they haven't, they might have, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. But that'll wrap it up for us. So we'll catch you guys next time.
See you next
Bye.
time.